Number 7 is ESG. This is actually an amendment, number 7, to contract 2006-82 in the amount of $461,423. Item number 8, we are asking that this contract at this time be deferred. We are still in contract negotiations and review of the contract with the vendor. I'm asking for authorization for the chairman to sign the contract. Once it is finalized, we will have the contract back before the board at the work session on August the 16th for discussion, and then for ratification on August the 23rd. This is one of our largest contracts, and it's certainly a very complex contract. And contract negotiations and preparations and review is still ongoing.
And when is the termination date for that contract?
It's July 31st, and we anticipate to have everything.
Year?
Yes, ma'am. July 31st.
So when will it be before the board?
We are wanting to bring it back before the board for ratification on August the 23rd.
Well, with it being such a large contract, I'm concerned that we would not have it complete by July 31st. What is the interim?
We will have it complete by the 31st and have it signed before the contract expires. However, we will not have a board meeting during that time.
My concern, Ms. Malone, will maybe the county attorney, counsel, will you have the opportunity time-wise to review this particular contract and within a reasonable amount of time, and then get it back to the board with an opinion in terms of moving forward, or what?
The contract expires by the end of this month, is that correct?
That is correct.
And so the thought was, this is an ongoing process. The department has been getting modifications in. As recently as yesterday, we received some minor modifications. We've been on this for quite some time. So it's my belief that if the board approves it subject to final review by county attorney, that would be adequate. I don't see at this point any delay beyond the 31st, and that's essential in terms of its value to Rockdale County to have it done before that time. It would require you feeling comfortable in allowing it to move forward subject to final approval.
Okay. Any other questions on that one? Okay. Next item, please.
Okay. Item number 9 is a contract. It's actually a grant with the Georgia Emergency Management Agency for a Homeland Security Grant Program. This is to update equipment and fire with the Fire and Rescue Department for $77,615.
Mr. Chairman, I move to ratify contract number 1 and to approve contracts 2 through 6 and number 9, and to approve number 7 and 8 subject to final approval by the county attorney.
Don't we need clarification for item number 7 to be approved at this time? That one doesn't need to be deferred, does it?
No, it does.
Number 7?
No, just for 8.
7 and 8 really are...
I would defer to the director of RWR to see if there's any more modifications to 7, just as a point of clarity.
Your request was to approve 7, though, right?
Yes, to approve 7.
So we just need to change the motion, I believe.
Dwight Wakesy, Director of Rockdale Water Resources. In answer to the question, everything is finalized on Amendment 7, so that amount of $461,423 is the final amount. That's good.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we ratify contract number 1 and defer contract number 8 and subject to final approval by the county attorney, and approve items 2 through 7 and item number 9.
Madam Commissioner, are you looking to defer number 8 or to approve it pending the final approval?
Pending final approval.
Not to defer it. You don't want
We'll
to
defer it to your next regularly scheduled voting session.
No, your motion would be to approve it subject to final approval by the county attorney. You wouldn't need to defer it to your next session. Once he receives all the documents that he needs, then you're authorizing the chair to sign and then the county attorney to sign. Unless that's not your intention.
Not with a contract that large.
Then we would need to revisit the motion if that's not the intention to approve it subject to final approval by the county attorney. If it's your intention
I haven't even seen a document, so I wouldn't approve anything without
Then
final
then your
negotiations.
motion would be to defer the contract.
Right.
Okay.
Which shouldn't matter. I think Ms. Malone mentioned that we would ratify it later, which that is
Yes,
correct.
you can ratify it later,
When I've seen the final document, right?
if that's your intention, yes.
That would be my intention.
Okay. Well, then, I would need a new motion.
Point of clarity then. The county attorney has indicated basically that upon his review on the 31st, he sees no particular issues or complications with the approval, given the board giving the chairman approval to sign that contract on the 31st thereafter. So next time we'll be coming before the Board of Commissioners will be on a work session on the 16th and final vote and approval for ratification on the 23rd. So to defer that contract at this time pushes it back to the 23rd. But if you want to review that contract, the county attorney will have it. We certainly will have an opportunity. The question is that do we move forward so the chairman has the authority to sign the contract on the 31st with the vendor, so we can move forward seamlessly with the contract. Is that saying it correctly?
That's correct. That's the same. Yes.
Okay. So
Well, I'm going to tell you I have great concerns operating like this for a contract of that size. How much is the contract for? Roughly?
3.7, well, there's a half a year, and then, which is I apologize, I don't have that in front of me, it's 1.5 million, I believe, and then the second year, which would be all of 2012, is 3.7 million.
So about $5 million.
Right. It's about the same amount that we have been paying in the past.
Well, keep in mind, Commissioner, I understand your concern. I just want to point this out. The same amount of time that the county attorney will have to do final approval, you'll also have that same amount of time to do whatever review of that contract, and I certainly do understand your position on that. And you can communicate with the county attorney by way of the chief of staff and the BOC if you have any concerns that will...
It'll be too late.
Well,
It's a done deal.
Well,
And I don't think that the three of us were elected not to be prudent in our financial responsibilities. I just am surprised that we're being asked not to vote on an item that we won't even see before it's finalized, and that's a concern. That's a $5 million contract.
Well, Commissioner, we have in front of us here content experts. The RWR Director of Water Resources and the county attorney, they're content experts. They have gone through this process very thoroughly, and they've found something they need to correct. And I think it's prudent that they've done what they're supposed to do. I'm okay either way the board decides to go, but I don't see this as an issue. This has been a vendor with us, and they're proven their worth, and they have been selected to go forward. And we have an agreement in front of us to continue to move forward at this time. So,
Mr. Chairman, let me point this out. Let's not any of us, the three of us, send the message that we're haphazardly approving a contract. First of all, this particular vendor has done business with the county through RWR in the past. We are well familiar with the vendor. This is an exceptional amount of money, but at the same time, we've had a chance to review this information and working over the last few days very diligently with the department heads and making certain that we're moving in the right direction. I agree, Commissioner Van Ness, that neither one of us need to be haphazardly approving contracts that are going to be spending the taxpayers' money. But at the same time, those same group of taxpayers have voted us in to make sure that we're making the best possible decisions on behalf of this community. And that's what we're doing. But if we continue to send out a message that we're doing something other than that, every time we make a decision up here, everybody is not going to agree with us on everything we do. We got to stand together and make sure that we put up the front and the image that we're doing what's in the best interest of every citizen. This contract is a large amount of money. I do agree. However, it's time sensitive. If you want to take a second look at it, you have an opportunity to do that. I'm comfortable with the statement coming from the county attorney that says, pending his approval, we can move forward. In the meantime, we have before us some legislation to move forward with. Let's get the job done. And let's not scare the folks in Rockdale County by doing the wrong thing or sending the wrong messages.
so let's restate the motion, Commissioner.
All right. I'll be glad to do that. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we ratify item number 1 and approve items 2 through 7 and item number 9. I think we all agreed on those items. 8 would be taken separately.
There's no second, so the motion fails.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to restate the fact that I would like to vote on each item on this agenda. Therefore, that's why I made a motion to split the items.
Okay. So your motion has been stated. Item ratify item number 1, items number 2 through 7, and number 9.
That's correct. I can make a motion for each one if you'd like me to do that.
Why don't you do that, Commissioner, to bring complete clarity to this meeting? Go ahead and do that.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to ratify contract number 1.
I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 2.
I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 3.
I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 4.
I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 5.
I second that motion.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 6.
I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 7.
I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 9.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 8.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve item number 8 pending final approval from the county attorney.
I second that motion. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Let's go to item number. Thank you, Miss Tina Malone.